Welcome to the lesson on variables in Python. Variables are fundamental to programming, as they allow us to store, manipulate, and retrieve data. In this lesson, we'll explore what variables are, how to use them in Python, and some best practices to follow. By the end of this lesson, you will have a solid understanding of variables and their importance in programming. Don't worry if this feels new at first. This section covers what's a variable. A variable in programming is a named storage location that holds a value. You can think of it as a container for data. Each variable has a name and a value, and the value can change over time. In Python, variables are dynamically typed, meaning you don't need to declare their type explicitly. Defining variables, let's dig in. To create a variable in Python, you simply assign a value to a name using the equals sign, =. Here's a simple example. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. In this example, we have defined three variables: age, name, and height. Each variable holds a different type of data. First, age is an integer. Also, name is a string. Finally, height is a float, decimal number. Now we're on variable naming conventions. When naming variables in Python, there are some important rules and conventions you should follow. First, variable names can include letters, numbers, and underscores, underscore symbol. Also, variable names must start with a letter or an underscore, not a number. Also, variable names are case-sensitive, meaning my variable and my variable are considered different variables. Finally, avoid using Python reserved keywords like if, for, while, etc. as variable names. Here are some examples of valid and invalid variable names. First, valid, my underscore variable, age 1, underscore count. Finally, invalid, 1st underscore variable, my variable, 4. Next, changing variable values. Once a variable is created, you can change its value at any time by using the assignment operator again. For example, see the example on this slide. Pause if you want to study the details. In this example, we first assign the value 25 to age, print it, then change age to 26 and print it again. This section covers using variables in expressions. Variables can be used in expressions to perform calculations or manipulate data. For instance, the samples on screen walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. In this code snippet, we defined two variables a and b and calculated their sum, which is stored in the variable sum. In this lesson, we covered the basics of variables in Python, including how to define them, naming conventions, changing their values, and using them in expressions. Variables are crucial for storing data and performing operations in your programs. Alright, your turn. Give this a try. First, create a variable called favorite_color and assign it your favorite color as a string. Also, create a variable called year_of_birth and assign it your year of birth as an integer. Also, calculate your current age by subtracting year_of_birth from the current year, e.g., 2023, and store it in a variable called current_age. Finally, print all three variables to the console.